Thought we'd talk about regulating today. When we're talking about regulating, I'm referring to the autonomic nervous system. It's a major player in the messenger system of how our body maintains its sense of calm when it can be calm, or fight, flight, and freeze when we need to engage our system for survival. We go through this life with an accumulation of downloads or messages from people that love us or the world just around us, whether it's the news, the newspaper, our observations. It's like 40 trillion bits per second the subconscious mind is taking in information, compared to the 4,000 or 40,000 bits per second that the conscious mind is utilizing in order to decipher what our reality is. And the truth is, our personality often is our personal reality. So what does that look like? And how is that manifesting inside your body, in your cellular structure with all those 70 trillion cells? Regulating is so important. And how do we get there? How do we ensure that our nervous system is regulated? The first point is to be aware of your body, to understand and realize, like, take the process to take time to sit with yourself through meditation, or just even to sit with yourself and have some sort of inner rest, some inner peace, where we can calm that mind and actually say, what's going on in there? What's happening? How are you doing? How is the outside of me doing? How is the inside of me doing? And then you get to notice something's off. I don't feel right. Oh, there's that person again. I wonder what our interaction is going to be like today. Or, oh gosh, I got to make all these phone calls and I don't feel like it. Well, as soon as you say that, that's a projection out to what's going to happen. So it's best to take a time to regulate, to create success in your life. So how do we do that? There's 3 ways, and I'm going to cover one today. That's really important. Or maybe 2 if we have time at the end. And the first point is to recognize that we have 2 nervous systems. One is called the parasympathetic nervous system, which is often referred to as rest and digest. I call it peace, my peace place. And then there is the sympathetic nervous system. And the sympathetic nervous system, you can relate the S to survival. So that's when we go into a place where we're in fight, flight, or freeze. So you can be that deer in the meadow eating grass, having a leisurely day, enjoying the sun on your back, and hear the twig break in the forest, and all of a sudden the deer's eyes looks up and scans the perimeter all the way around to see what could potentially be coming out to harm them, and then realizes that they're safe. So then they just go back to eating grass. We're no different. Our subconscious mind will click in and say, whoa, danger, danger. Don't be careful of this. And then the body will instantly send that message. And then we will then contract, because when we get into that fight, flight, freeze, we need all cells on deck, so to speak, to ensure that we have that propulsion. So if we need to run, we'll run, we'll flight, we'll run. If we need to fight, we'll fight, whether it's with words, thoughts, or actions. Or if we need to freeze and just freeze. And then there is the other option, which is collapse. That's just when the whole system just charges down and says, done, can't do that anymore. So what do we do about that? How do we ensure that we stay in the parasympathetic nervous system? Well, it's called regulating. And when we talk about regulating, it's like a repetition. We're doing something regularly that's going to access both sides of our brain. because we have a feminine side of the brain and a masculine side of the brain, which is, action and passive, the passive part of the nervous system. So that's where we want to be. We want to be on that feminine side more commonly. And in order to do that, we need to regulate both sides of the brain so one isn't being more active than the other. So it's called a bilateral movement. Bi being two, lateral means side by side. So let's take a look at it. So it's done with the feet. I'm going to give you an example with my hands, and then I'm going to take you down to my feet. So these are my feet. I'm going to feel the heels in the floor. You're going to take some time to do this with me. Feel your heels in the floor and sort of lock them in so that they're firmly planted, your heels, and you can lift your toes. You can just tap your toes and know that you can lift your toes. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to lift our toes on one side to the other. So I'm doing it with my feet at the same time as I'm showing you with my hands. So please join me. And we're going to check in where the breath is. And see if we can bring the breath down to the lower abdomen as we start to engage this bilateral movement. And if we were to put a mantra to this, it would be, how slow can you go? That's our goal. How slow can you go? And this will engage the nervous system. Not only is it bringing you to the present moment, because you have to think about your feet and you have to create an action, a bilateral action for your feet. It takes you out of wherever you were in the past or the future and brings you to the here and the now. It also is a little message to your body saying that you're listening. You recognize that you're safe, you're not in harm's way, and you're doing something about it. It's scientifically proven that in 90 seconds, we can allow this stressful situation, this higher level of cortisol, this moment of anxiety, whatever it may be, just some affliction within your system to pass. This is wonderful to do if even if someone in your family is having a difficult time. If you engage this regulating system, it calms your entire field of energy. And that will calm the field of energy in your environment. Even if you're at work and you're in a meeting and you could feel the tension rising and you started to regulate, your field will adjust, and it will adjust the fields all around you. The biggest field wins. And by that, it's not the baddest, it's the highest, the higher vibration, that calming field. And it can be engaged anywhere. If you're riding transit, if you're at home, if you're laying down, if you're sitting up, you can do this while you're laying in bed. If you wanted to try to relax, but your mind was going crazy before going to sleep, you can regulate before you go to sleep. When you do this, it's important to keep your eyes open so that there's not a point of disassociation, so that you are fully present. And if you've been doing this along with me, check in how you're feeling. I often find when I first start regulating, I have an automatic sigh that just lets go. Give yourself permission to breathe down to your abdomen, come out of a chest breath. Feel your shoulders falling 3 inches. And simply regulate. I hope you find this helpful. That's the whole the whole reason, purpose that I'm here. My name is Debra O'Neill, and I'm the CEO and founder of blissbe.me Integrative Holistic Health. I'm here to share because I care. And I really hope that you will join me. We are presently doing a 31 daily meditation challenge. It started yesterday. It's here live on YouTube at 8 a.m., just 50 minutes from now. And it's an invitation into my personal practice. And the whole purpose is to hopefully have you join us in our monthly membership, because this is where we do great work where we work with those inner thoughts and we calm them down, and we give you how-to worksheets every single month, new material. There's guided healing meditations in there as well. And it's founding member pricing till December 31st, which is super huge value, which means your price stays the same for as long as you have the membership. If you want to check out just the live, it's also here on YouTube and on Instagram under the blissbe.me. So join me and come and experience some further ways to create stress management and anxiety management and lower the cortisol and increase your immune system. There is so many reasons and benefits to breath work, regulating, meditation, and grounding, centering, and aligning, all very seriously critical components to our overall well-being. So thank you for being here, and hope to see you again soon.